integrate Jenkins and Ansible together. So let me just come here and say Jenkins and Ansible integration. So this is what I'm trying to do, right? Let me come here to images. And I'm trying to do something like this. Okay, so this will be later. 1 second. Close this. Okay. Okay, so as of now, I'm trying to do something like this. Okay, so if you see here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So as of now, I'm only concentrating on these 3 components. Okay, so first is that you should write the code, and the code should be present in GitHub. So I did something like that yesterday, but in case you have not remember that, you can cut to this github.com. And I was doing something like this. Jenkins Ansible integration. Is this the one? No, this is not the one. Ansible. This is the one which I was working with. Okay, so yesterday what I have done, I have written a code and I have pushed that code here in my GitHub. So if you remember, this is what I have done. I told you that first you install Jenkins and keep it up and running. So let me go step by step. Okay, so I will follow those steps only. So this is my Jenkins machine. It is up and running. So let me connect to my Jenkins machine first. Copy this. 8080. So I can see my Jenkins is up and running. I will come here and say admin and pass 1, 2, 3. So this is Jenkins console. So as of now, let me delete everything. Okay, I will show you from fresh. So whatever I did it in past, let's delete it. Delete pipeline. Okay. Delete this guy also. Delete pipeline. Okay, so this is what I have. So step 1 says that you should have Jenkins up and running. Then on the Jenkins machine, you should have all these tools installed. So let me just come here. This is my Jenkins machine. Let me go ahead and run this machine. So let me say EC2 minus user at the rate, whatever IP you got, appearance, change the font size. Okay, go to SSH, auth, from here go to browse, take this Ansible key and open it up. Accept. Now let me become a root user and I'll say host name as Jenkins. So this Jenkins machine, and again sudo su hyphen. So let me say ls minus l. So whatever you see, I'm going to delete everything. Okay, rm minus rf. See here, so nothing is here right now. So it says check whether you have Git, Maven, Java, Ansible, and tree installed. So the first is Git. So I'm checking if Git is installed. Yes, Git is installed. MVN version.
Sir, while deleting the Jenkins,
MVN and Java is installed. So Maven home, Java home, both are installed. Then check Ansible version. So Ansible is installed. And if you say tree, that software is also installed for me. So all the required softwares are installed. Done. Now it says install the default Git plugin, Maven integration plugin, and Ansible plugin. So I will go back to my Jenkins. I'll go to my manage Jenkins. Here I will go to manage plugins. And I will go to my installed section. And I will see whether Ansible is installed or for me or not. So Ansible is installed. Similarly, Maven. You can go on mute. Okay, so Maven is installed or not? Maven not installed. Wait, let me see. Git is installed. Okay, so I can see Git is installed. Okay, so the required plugins for me is installed, I'll say. Okay, now once the plugins are installed, I will go back to my dashboard. And here I will go to manage Jenkins again. And I will go to global tool configuration. So the first tool which I'm interested in is this JDK. So this JDK or Java home path should be mentioned and you know from where it will come. Similarly, Git is the default one, so I'm not worried about Git. Then I'm worried about Maven. So I have told Maven and the path of Maven. Then I have told Ansible and the executable for Ansible, user bin. This is the executable. So apply. So this is okay for me. I will come here now. So this is also done. Now, this guy is also done. It says give the path. So this is done. Now, in Maven archetype, it says create a Maven web project using this piece of code. So I will come here and run it. So this project has been created. Now, if you come here and say ls -l, you will see that sample web project has been created. If you say tree and sample web app project, you will see this structure has been created. And this is the guy which I am looking at. Okay. Now, if you go inside your folder and say ls -l, you can see all these things. So I can say git init. Okay. And I have initialized git. And then if you remember the git commands which I used. So there were git commands like git add dot git push -m. Second commit, I can say. Second commit. Okay. Oh.
Git commit, right?
Yes. Sorry. Git commit. My bad. Okay. Then git push origin and this entire path, because I've not defined what is main. So I'll give the entire path. Let me come here. This path I will give.
Push.
That spelling is wrong. Just check that spelling. Okay, just let me git origin -v. Okay, origin is not defined. Okay, let me do one thing. Those commands, I will find it. Wait, let me do one thing. New repository, git, I'll put it like this, Jenkins and Ansible, something like this. Okay, create repository. So I have these commands basically. So this is one which I need. Okay, then I will need git remote origin, and this is the repo link which I have. Okay. What happened? Did not copy. Copy this, paste it here. Okay, now if I come here and say git origin minus v origin. Yeah, let me just use this now. Git push minus u origin main Vikas 99341 and then the password. The password is here. It says do a git pull first. That's okay. And main branch origin. Okay, let me do one thing. There's a small problem here. Actually, if I do like this, no, there will be no problem. Give me 1 second. Let me delete the older repository. This is because there is a problem here. These steps, this is what I need. Copy this. Not bad. Now let me delete all these things because it is old, so it is causing a problem. Okay, so let me just come here to settings, all the way down here, delete the repository. Wait, Jenkins Ansible. This is something also which I would like to delete.
Sir, we can push the number of commits to single repository, right?
Yes, we can push. But actually what I have done is no, in GitHub, the changes are different and here the changes are different. That's why it is shouting and causing a problem to me. Okay, so that's why what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a new repo and I'm trying to work with that only. Okay, so let me clear.
And sir, while deleting the file, you have used J star, no? That
because there was a file with J something name.
Jenkins is there. Jenkins, I saw that file name, but you have given in the short form, and then you placed as a star.
Star means anything with that J and then
J it will take.
It will take
Even
anything.
if the number of files are more, then
it will take everything. It will take everything.
Okay.
So sample web app is the name I have given. Integration of Git, Maven, Jenkins, Ansible. These are the things which I'm integrating. Come here and say create a repository. Okay, now do one thing. Anything which is there from before, let's delete it. So this guy is there from before. Okay, so I'll just delete it and create a fresh one. ls minus l. Not ls minus l, rm minus rf. rm minus rf. So I'm deleting it. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and create it. So how to create? Using this command. Okay. Now I can see whether it is created or not. Yes, it is created. Now if I go inside, I can see my code is there. Now what I will do, I will go ahead and run these commands. Git init, git add, and git commit. So the first command is git init, then git add, then git commit minus m. First commit. Okay, done. And then these three commands. What is your username? Vikas 99341. What is your password? Done. Let's clear out everything. Come here and refresh this guy. So my first step is done. First step is done in the sense, whatever code I was writing, I have pushed it to GitHub. So this is my first change. Now this GitHub has to be integrated with Jenkins. Okay. So let me go to my Jenkins, and I have shown you that these things I've already done. So I'll write a script now. So let me say new item. Come here and say this is Jenkins Git Ansible integration. Okay, it's a pipeline project. Okay, in the description you can say the same thing. INTEGRATION integration of Git, Maven, Jenkins, and Ansible. These are the things which I want to integrate. I'll just go to advanced project option, and here I'll start writing my code. Now the first thing what I want to do is I'll take a sample code from here, hello world. So if you see here, this code is nothing but it is a dummy code. So I can change it here. So first, I don't want to keep it as hello. I will say SCM checkout. See checkout. Where is your code? So I will use pipeline syntax generator. I will say I'm going to use Git. It says where is your URL? So this is my URL, sample web app. This guy. Which branch? So it is in main branch. What are your credentials? So this is my credential, Git credential. And then I can say generate pipeline script. So this is what got generated. Control C. Put it here. Instead of this echo word, put that piece of code. And you can come here and press enter. Okay, so this is first step. Let me just run this much only, and then I will go to the next step. So let me build it. Let's see whether it is working or not. It is working, gives me a green signal. It means Jenkins and Git are integrated. If you want, you can go inside and check. Now, once the code is there in Git, the next thing what I do is I integrate it with Maven. So to integrate with Maven, you come here, come to the second step. It's a declarative pipeline. Okay, so come here and say declarative directive generator. Here you say I'm going to use a tool, and that tool is Maven for me, and generate a script. So you get something like this. Take this, come back here, come back to configure, advanced project properties. And here, after this agent any, you can put it. And this should be proper. Okay, now I will have difficulty. So I will just take everything and do it here. Okay, so this is first step. Like that, I will create 2 more steps. The indentation is very important. So make sure that you give the indentation properly. The second step for me will be Maven clean, and I will compile. So this is the step. So here I will write my code now. So I'll say sh and mvn clean compile. Okay. Similarly, if I want to package, take this entire thing. I will say Maven.
SS means shell only. That one.
SH with shell
Yes. Okay.
package. MVN. Okay. Build now. Let's see what happens now. So you can see it says declarative tool install, means in the step I told to install that a Maven thing, SCM checkout, Maven clean compile, and Maven package. Now, if I go inside this Maven package, I will be able to see one very good thing here. So why do I compile a code, or why do I package a code? Because at the end of the day, I want the var file. See here. So a sample web.var has been generated. So this is the var, or this is the executable, or you can say this is my artifact. So whatever human readable code you have written, I have converted that human readable code into a machine readable code or a binary code using Maven. So I get a var file here. So this is done. Till var, I have created it. So if you see the pipeline, I have reached from GitHub, I have reached till here. Means inside Jenkins, I have my Maven. Now the thing is, I have to deploy it to Ansible, or I have to instruct Ansible to deploy it to the third server. So this is going to be my worker node. And one important thing with this worker node, what I have done is, when you spin up this worker node, make sure that you use a PEM key, PEM. Don't use PPK. Okay, because if you use because if you use PPK, it will not work. So while creating this worker node, make sure that you're using PEM key. That's the only thing which you need to take care. Where is the var file stored? So the var file, if you want to see where is the var file stored, go back to your dashboard. Go back to your job. And go back to your this location, console output. And this is the location where your var file is stored. var lib Jenkins workspace target sample.var. So if you take this entire path, and this is your Jenkins, right? CD. See here, this is your sample.var. So it is stored in your Jenkins local. Okay, so I can see my sample web app.var. So this is the var file which has been generated and stored here. Step back. Now, the last thing which I want to do here is I have to integrate it with Ansible. So to integrate with Ansible, there are two things which are needed. Back to dashboard, manage Jenkins, manage plugins.
The var file code we cannot see in the local machine, sir.
There's no local machine, right? It's only cloud machine. See, everything I am doing it. No, in Git, I have not. See, Git is taking, or it is containing your human readable code. Okay, I have never pushed my compiled version of the code to Git. Git, I have always given the human readable code. After Maven compiled the code,
No, that I understand, but the file which you given now, that is var file, right? That is has been created from human to mission readable.
Correct.
That file is stored in, even we are able to see in the Git also, right?
No, how will you see in the Git? In Git, how will you see?
Okay.
See, Git only has these two things. This code, basically this index.jsp is your code, this code, and the POM file. It has only this much only, no? You have not pushed your, yes, if you want to push it, that is a different story. See, you will say that, no, I want to keep that in my GitHub. Then it's a different story altogether. But we don't keep the var file or the executable on GitHub. We only keep the human readable form, and then we convert that into a machine readable using some compiler like Ant, Nant, Maven, Gradle, something like that we'll use, and we'll convert into machine readable format.
But just now you have opened the one file in the local machine also.
So
The location which you have shown, no?
see, this location is Jenkins machine. This is Jenkins.
Okay.
This is Jenkins machine.
Yeah, I got now I got it.
This is Jenkins. Okay. Now, the last thing which I want to do here is I will go to installed section. And here I am looking for Ansible plugin. So I have Ansible plugin, which will help me to run my ad hoc commands and playbooks. Once this plugin is installed, you can go to manage Jenkins again. And you can go to global tool configuration. Go all the way down here. Make sure that this Ansible thing is updated. Give any name of your choice. And this is the location. Now, from where am I getting this? So yesterday only I told you, if I come here and say Ansible -- version, I will be able to see that the executable location is user bin Ansible. I don't have to give Ansible. I only have to give user bin. So this is done. Apply, save. Now, the third step for me will be that I have to integrate it with Ansible. So let's do that. Go inside this job. Go to configure section. Now, advanced project properties. Now here, pipeline syntax. Okay, when you come to pipeline syntax, because you have installed the plugin, the first thing only is Ansible playbook, Ansible vault. But I'm looking at this Ansible playbook, invoke a Ansible playbook. So this is what I want to run. So it is taking Ansible tool, Ansible. So it is coming from the Jenkins configuration, which I have done. Then it says, which playbook would you like to run? So whichever playbook you want to run, you put it here. So let me say, I want to, so whatever plugin you have. Okay. So let me just take some plugin and try to execute it. So let me say I want to run this plugin. Okay. So I'll come here and say, add a file, create a new file, .yaml. Okay, what is the content of this? Copy. So my playbook will look like this. So I'm saying name, you change the name, uninstall and install HTTPD software. Okay, so host test server. If you want, you can give any name here. Let me say I am giving the name as web server. You remember this, okay? I'm giving the name as web server. Remote user, I don't need it as of now. Okay, what are the tasks? So the task is remove HTTPD, and for that it will use this command, and install HTTPD. For this it will use this command. And let's commit this. Remember, I have given the name as web server. CRA created. Okay. Commit. So my playbook, which I want to install, is here. The same I will put here also. Playbook file path in the workspace. Put it like this. Inventory path. Inventory path is nothing here, but where you're on which host file you want to run it. So I'll come here, add file, create a new file, hosts. So if you remember, I gave the name as web server, right? What is the IP address? So come here. So I'm saying I will install on this machine, Ansible worker node. So take the IP address of this machine and put it here. Okay. Say created hosts file. commit. So you have your YAML file here, you have your host file here. Tell the same thing here. Okay, SSH connection. So now SSH connection is needed. So for that, you come here and say add Jenkins. You say SSH username and private key. ID, you can give any ID. So ID, let me say my username is EC2 minus user. In description, you say, okay, EC2 minus user is already there. So I will say EC2 minus user. And this is for Ansible. Just any name I am giving. Okay, Ansible. Description, I will say same thing. Okay. Username for you is EC2 minus user. The default user is EC2 minus user. Then treat this as a secret. I don't want to show my username to everyone. And the private key I'm going to enter directly. Enter directly. Add. And here I'm going to copy paste. Now come back here. What key it is using? So it is using worker key. And I told you worker key is a PEM key. It's not key. Come here. On my local, see the worker key is a PEM file. Double click. Control A, Control C. Back here. Paste it. Make sure that any unnecessary spaces or anything is not there. Add. Now if you come here, you can see your EC2 user Ansible. Okay. If you have any vault credentials, if you are using vault and you have password for that, you give it here. As of now, I don't have. If you want to become a root user to execute it, say yes, I would like to become a root user. Then tag and all you can skip. Then here you can say disable the host key check, because every time don't ask the password for me. Colorized. So if you want to colorful output and all is this there. So as of now, I don't want. I will simply come here and say generate script. So this is a script for me. Now back to this guy. Here I will add my Ansible step. Take this thing. So say Ansible deployment. And then take this entire thing, put it here. Okay. Now, how does it read? It is saying Ansible, run a playbook, become a root user for that. The credentials I have mentioned here. Credentials is EC2 credentials, what I've mentioned. Disable host key check. Don't ask me for the password again and again. Installation is Ansible should be already installed. Inventory file where you will find the IP address is here. The playbook which you have to install is here. So now let me take this entire script and put it here. Okay. Apply, save. Now let's build it. Let's see what happens. So first tool thing is already done. So 90 milliseconds it took. SCM checkout took 560 milliseconds. Clean compile just took 3 seconds. And in Ansible deployment, it has failed. Okay, so let's go and check why it has failed. Let's go to console output. Let's see what is the problem here. Ansible. So it is saying user bin playbook install this thing. The playbook install -httpd YAML could not be found. Okay, it is saying the playbook cannot be found. Okay, let's see why it is saying that the playbook cannot be found. That's some mistake, I guess. This is only the name, right? Mhm. Okay, let me do one thing. For time being, I'm using this. Okay, I'll see if it is. Okay. Generate pipeline script. It is saying the playbook install HTTPD YAML could not be found. YML is the problem or what? Should not be the case. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll change the name of this as YAML. Okay. Ideally, this should not be a problem, but let's see. Add a file, create a new file. Install httpd.yaml. So I'm giving the name as YAML, YAML. Okay. So ideally it takes both. Okay. File created. Okay. So I'll remove this guy. So this is my file name. Come here. Take this. Let's now try to run it with YAML. Okay, Control A, Control C. Jenkins. Configure. Advanced project properties. Apply, save. Let's build it. Let's see what happens now. Again, it has failed. Error, the playbook install HTTPD YAML could not be found. Command execution failed. Ansible execution failed. Why is it not able to find it? Give me 1 minute. That is quite strange.
Because of the web server name.
No, it is not because of the web server name. Wait a second, because morning also I ran. Morning it ran. Let me come here. This is from my morning thing. Install HTTP POM XML host. Everything is okay. Let me see what is the problem. Back to the project. Configure changes. Come here. Apply, save. Build it.
Can we run step by step so that we can see?
No, step by step we have already done, right?
Yeah.
Till your Ansible thing, it is okay. Let's see what's happening.
No, I think it is getting.
Now it is running good. Let's see. Let's go inside and see what is the scenario. Okay, now it has run fine. Okay, it has run fine. Now I just want to know what was the problem earlier. See, same thing. User Ansible playbook install httpd YAML -i become true.
No, this path is different. This path is different in the previous error.
No, it will be same.
-i we are not added.
But why? How come I have not added? Wait, give me a second. No, did I miss something here? See, this is there. Ansible playbook, Ansible install httpd YAML host file SSH you gave, vault I don't have, become I told, sudo username I told, tags to skip, disable host key check. No man, it is correct. Wait, let me check what did I miss so that it was not running earlier. So this is the script which I had, which was giving me an error.
Sir, in the user, no, you have given here EC2 minus user, and the when you are giving the key, no, there we are using sh user, no.
No, that will not cause a problem. Let me just come back. Let me just check what I missed last time. Oh, disable host key checking. This did I? No, this is also done. Ansible playbook become true credentials. Let me match these two. Okay, same thing I'm putting here again. Wait a second. Let me take this entire thing. Let me check what I missed. That is what I want to know. Because morning I gave it, it ran. Now it's all of a sudden it was failing. Let's see why it not everything I need. Okay, Ansible playbook become true. Credentials is easy to use. Disable host recheck installation. Ansible inventory host playbook. Install httpd YAML. Everything is correct. I don't know, man, what was missed here. Install httpd YAML. Everything looks absolutely right. Anyhow, so this is the playbook which I found, or this is the playbook which I have right now, and it is giving me the expected result. The last thing what I will do is Control A, Control C, come back to my pipeline, and in the pipeline I will create a new file, give the name as Jenkins file, and paste the content, and just come here and say created Jenkins file. Commit. Now the last thing which you will do is come here, say that I'm going to run it from SCM. Here you will say this guy is your SCM. Okay, I'll tell you what is the problem. See, I should have written my stuffs here. I'm writing it here inside index.jsp. That's the problem. Okay, I should not write here, because of that it is failing. You understood? See, in which path, the path is not correct. So whatever I'm writing is not correct. So that's why it is failing. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what is the problem here. Let me delete all these things from here. Delete. 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 Okay, I should write everything here. Here I should write. Okay, so let me write all these things, whatever I have just now deleted. So the first thing what I'm writing here is create a new file. I will say this is hosts file. I'm going to give the name as web server and the IP address is this guy. Okay. Say created web server. Then go ahead and create a YAML file. So this is the YAML file which I took. Add a file, create a new file. Take the YAML file from here. Okay. You can come here and say created HTTP install HTTPD YAML file. Okay, so these two things is what I have done. Now, if I run the same script, no, it should work good. Actually, I missed some small item. So I had kept at a prompt, please. So let me come here. And this time, let me refresh and run it again. Okay. So this is my Ansible playbook. Ansible, where is your code for playbook? So this is my code for playbook. Where is your host file? HOSTS, this is my host file. What is your credential? So I am using this one credential, EC2 minus user Ansible. And then I say I will become a root user. Then I will say disable SSH key checking and then generate a script. Done. Take this and come here. This is what I want to change. Okay. Control A, Control C, go back. This I will come, but let me just run it like this first. Apply, save. And let me run it now. Let's see what happens. So Maven package is running. Ansible deployment is running. Okay, I get a green tick, means everything is fine. Now I can come back here, add a file, create a new file, say Jenkins file, give the same piece of code, say added Jenkins file, create, take this URL, come back to this guy, go back here, configure, go to advanced project properties, say I'm going to run it from SCM. When I say SCM, Git is going to be my SCM, and this is my repository. This is my credential, Git credential, and it is not master, it is main. And the file name is Jenkins file. Just check if the name is correct. J capital Jenkins file. Apply, save, and you can execute it. So you can see seventh build has started, and it is picking the code from GitHub, and everything is present in GitHub. Okay. So this is a complete pipeline which I have. Okay. And in this complete pipeline, what I have done is I have taken the code from Git. First is started with Git, pushed it to GitHub. Then from GitHub, the code was picked up by my Jenkins. Then Jenkins had Maven pre-installed, so it compiled the code and converted into a machine readable format. And from Jenkins, I ran Ansible, and Ansible finally was able to deploy it to a server which I was creating here, or I have created here, the worker node 2. So this is my worker node. So this is basically what I have done till this point of time. Okay. Now, in coming class, I will integrate Jenkins with Tomcat, with SonarQube. So like that, there are Jira. So there are many tools which I can integrate it with. Okay, so I'll show you how this integration thing works. So for today, this much alone only, but now I'll open it for questions. Anybody having any questions, please go ahead. And also let me share this repo with you. And one more thing, I had created one document for this. Okay, so I'll share this document also. Add files, load files, choose a file. Okay, anyone having any questions, please go ahead.
Sir, build has been done twice, right? One for Jenkins, another one for Maven. Am I right?
No. See, Jenkins think like as a wide pant. Okay, if you put or when I was teaching Jenkins, what did I say? Jenkins is like a brand new mobile phone. If you install a music app, it will start behaving like audio player. If you install VLC media player, you can watch movie. If you install Google Pay or Phone Pay, you can watch or you can do payment. So basically, whatever you want, you can do it on Jenkins. You say that Jenkins is doing it, but internally, Maven is doing it. So the compile will happen only once. So if somebody is seeing from outside, he will say Jenkins is doing it, but internally it is Maven who is doing it. Got my point? So this is what happens. Okay.
This
And
tomorrow class will be
No, one small
integration.
clarification. One first time you have taken the host and then HTTP file, then you run it, and then again you have run the Jenkins file.
no. See, what I have done is, see, when I was running first time, I was running manually, means I was directly putting my code in the Jenkins script and I was running it. The problem with that is, while teaching Jenkins, I told, the problem is if you're directly running your script, anybody can come and change your script. Moreover, you are exposing your script to everyone. We don't want to do that. So what we do is we create Jenkins file and we make sure that our content is in GitHub, and only valid users can go and change the code. So let me say there is a production support engineer. So he is only there to monitor. He's not there to change the code. So that is the reason I have put it here. At the end of the day, whether you run it from Jenkins or you run it directly, the output will be same, but I want to keep the security. That's why I'm putting it here.
Which means you have run the one with security, one with without security, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I understood.
See, whatever I have taught yesterday and today, everything is documented here. The code is present with you, but simply do not copy paste the code, because if you simply copy paste the code, it will run, but you will not get the knowledge. Knowledge is important. So all the steps I have kept here in this document, in this file also, you will get all the documents. So
Sir, for when you are doing next class, can you please write one script manually, like instead of copy and pasting?
Script manually.
Like where to close the bracket and where to start the bracket, all those things.
Okay, fine, I can do that. But see, the best thing what you can do is take a sample from somewhere and then edit on top of that. Because if you start writing on like manually, no, somewhere you will miss. So generally how I work in my production environment, I take a sample code and then on top of that, I make changes. That is a smart way of working. If you start from
Can
scratch,
be done, that can be done, but as a DevOps engineer, you should know, right? If without any help, you should write the script.
see, you can write without any help, or even if you are writing without any help, or let me say, suppose you made some script and it is not syntactically correct, you will get online validators. So you can come here and say,
Like syntax check.
syntax check, online Groovy validator, Groovy console or validator, something like that you will get on internet. You can, whatever code you're writing, you put it here and check whether it is right or wrong. Okay. But always try to take a template and work on that template, because then it will become a lot easier for you.
Okay.
If you start from scratch and think like, okay, I missed this comma, I missed this space, then that's a difficult thing. So why to get into such problems?
No, my intention is to learn by manual and then go for all the smart ways.
You can try, man. I am not stopping you from trying, but I would like you to learn the smart ways, because see, in IT industry, hard work is good, but people who do smart work, they are appreciated more. So always look for smart work. Don't look for hard work. So see, I don't want to offend anyone, but see, there are like donkey. Donkey is very much hardworking, but nobody will appreciate the work what donkey will do. But horse and all, they're not that hard workers, but they're smart workers. When they will be beaten, they will run like anything and they'll win the race. And people pay huge importance, huge amount of money to horse, who's doing less work, but comparatively smart work. And donkey, from day early in the morning till night, he's working. Nobody will value that. Not only IT industry, the entire world is like that. If you are a hard worker, people will say, okay, he will do it. So don't go into that mode. Try to be a smart worker. So IT is looking for smart people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Chalo then. We will
Because tomorrow we are discussing about this
Sonar.
integration.
Sonar. I'll start with Sonar Cube, and
Yes.
then I'll go to Tomcat.
Like what are these like Tomcat? Okay, tomorrow we'll discuss, right?
I'll tell you. See, today, if you say that I know Git, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, and Unix. So I've taught you this much. If here you have any problem, you tell me. What is coming next? I will first explain it, and then I will tell you what is that.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. See you then, guys, tomorrow. We'll meet tomorrow again.